So I guess they were made of wood, the letters in my drawing, but I think I want, well, I suppose it could be painted wood. And using a ruler is not something I do very often, but I'm pretty sure I had used one for that drawing. Wow, I don't think I'm going to have enough room. Okay, and struggling like this, trying to get my projects and my homework done well, and failing miserably, I just didn't feel good about myself, and I just felt stupid and just like I can't do anything right, and etc. And I still feel that way, but it's just the way it is, I guess. Oh, you know what I could do? No, because that's too hard. I think I'm just gonna... I'm not gonna make them... I'm gonna make bubble letters. Because it's just easier. I used to do that a lot. I used to make these bubble letters. Actually, I still do that fairly often. Back. Let's dangle a little sign. I just liked doing a lot of detail. Drawings with a lot going on in it. Back to... Okay, that's a horrible mess. I still remember when there were like pages like that, and it would show how to do that, and then you had to copy. I really loved doing this, and I remember when it was hard to do that. So that was pretty cool. But I'm going to erase that because something else I remember is for holidays and stuff. Like, I don't remember ever having an art class. The closest to that was in high school. There was a home economics or something like that. So it was, and in that class you did stuff like make little rooms out of boxes where you made beds and things. I loved that. But I didn't like the parts where you had to learn to cook and sew and stuff like that. But even that, even the classes where we would learn artsy crafty stuff, like once we learned to make stuffed animals with kits that you had to buy. Even that was upsetting because I got a lower grade than I should have because I wanted to give my kit was to make a dog. Because I wanted to give my dog character, I bent one of his ears on purpose. And the teacher said, well, that type of dog doesn't have bent ears. And because of that, she gave me a lower grade, a lower mark on that project. And I found that so upsetting. I don't think I still have him. I think that I should have kept him. But anyway, how do you spell school? I can't talk and spell at the same time. Okay. So yeah, like even like there were specialty projects once in a while, like the little storybook thing and stuff, but I don't remember there ever being like an actual art class or anything like that. There was woodworking, of course, but I went for home ec instead. I'm not sure if I'm happy with this. Okay, let's try again with it oriented properly, because it gives me more space and it just works better. Okay, I want there to be a tree there. Okay, and I will add a lot of details later. And I want there to be the words. Okay, I made that too big. I'll be back. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm finally happy with this. I ended up ripping out the other page because I kept erasing, and anyway, I'm finally happy with this. I decided to do the tree in another. I'll do a whole other page. So yeah. So now I'm just going to add a whole bunch of kids. Oh, and when I was doing the O's, it made me remember in the playground at recess time, there were 2 tires in the ground, and I would always pretend that mine was a horse, and my friends and my cousin, they often would pretend that it was a motorcycle or something like that, but mine was almost always a horse. So I suppose I could make these look like tires, but I don't think so. But I think I'm going to make them look like they have more dimension, or at least try to. Something like that. I think I might be starting with a cold again or something, I'm not sure. Anyway. I don't know how much you can actually see, because it is pencil after all. I remember sometimes it would help the teacher after class by cleaning the boards and then going outside to tap the chalk dust off of the erasers. I enjoyed that job. And I really liked my bus driver. Actually, all of the ones that I've had, I liked the bus drivers. And some of my teachers were pretty cool. So, I mean, it's not all bad, but most of my school experience was not bad. I did most of the time pass my grades though. Like, I don't really know how I managed, because my grades were never good. Especially in subjects like science and, or not science, but social studies and history and all those things that I really was not interested in. I always did very poorly in those. But I guess I always made just enough to pass until they ended up putting me in adjusted classes, and then I'm not going to say it was easy, but some of it was kind of it felt like I was in a well, I don't want to be insulting, but it just seemed like it was for younger kids or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was hard. Okay, so I'm gonna put some grass here and there. And then I'm going to start adding the many details. And so this is going to take me a while. So yeah, I'm not sure how much of this I will film because I'm not sure how much you can actually see. But there you go. You would never actually catch me up on something this high, but because I'm afraid of heights. Okay, so I have them all drawn in, and yeah, I never have been good at scale or you know, having things or people or whatever the right size, especially in proportion to each other. But yeah, I still enjoy this. So okay, so there are little stories happening. You know, he just climbed up there and just kind of taking a break. Okay, so now I have a lot of coloring to do. And I guess in the style that I used to do it, I would outline everything, and I'll probably use marker and colored pencil. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the marker part. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna color it, and yeah, I'll be back. So it takes a long time to get one of these done. It's a lot of detail and stuff, but it's fun. And you know, back in my school days, when I did drawings and stuff, it didn't really have to make sense exactly. Like I was saying before with the proportions and the sizes and stuff, it didn't, and like if the, I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't matter if it didn't make sense. It just had to make me happy, I guess. Or it just had to tell the story that I was telling with the scene I was making. And so that's kind of how I tried to do it this time. Not care so much if I make mistakes like I did here with her leg, and if stuff doesn't look quite right and stuff. So, okay, I'm finished. I'm just going to make double sure that I got all the lines and stuff, and then I'm going to erase. I think I'm going to erase the grass and just do the grass with my colors when I get there. And hopefully I did get everything, all the important ones anyway, so that the pencil mark isn't there anymore and it's easier to color. Now, with tiny little details like that, I'm not sure what I'm going to use to color with, because my Prismacolors are hard to sharpen to a point like that. That's why I used my Micron 0.5, because for the outlining, because it just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, back in my school days, I would use Laurentian pencils, colored pencils, and occasionally I would use markers. I don't know where all my Laurentians are. Must have used them up or something. So far looks like I got all the important lines. And yeah, like cats and dogs in a school playground doesn't necessarily make sense, but in my world it does. That's a chipmunk, by the way. It just wouldn't be one of mine if there weren't any animals at all. So, I'm not do it, like I'm not gonna do all the shading and everything on each character and stuff. And like her arms are like super long, but like I was saying before, it, you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense in a fun story piece like this. I think I'm going to do the background with some watercolor, some of these. Now, in my time we didn't have in my school days we didn't have these, or at least not that I knew of. And so I didn't use these, but I'm going to today. Actually, do I want to do that, or do I just want to leave it blank? Like just white. I think actually I'm just going to leave it white after all. I'll do the grass later. And I was going to do each letter in a different pattern, like polka dots and stripes and whatevers, but I think I've decided to just make them blank because it'll be too busy if I do that. A couple of places where I missed a line with the micron, but I'm just going to fill them in with this. There was another one right there. So yeah, I'm just going to color. And it looks like I'm going to be using colored pencil. If you can hear her, but Soma is purring for us. And as I was coloring, as I've been coloring, I realized that these bottom parts here don't make sense because you wouldn't see it. Excuse me, you wouldn't see it because that part would be on the ground. The way I did it, it looks like they're like that instead of like, you know, standing up. They look like they're flat instead of standing up right. But hopefully I can fix that with the grass, and if not, oh well, that's okay. It just kind of adds to the effect or whatever. And the other thing is that back then I wouldn't have left all this white space. I would have colored, and I would have like it would have been like the whole page would have been covered with something. But in the interest of making it more up to date or whatever, I'm gonna leave a bunch of white space and just do it. Now my paper is Canson Mixed Media? Yes, it's Canson Mixed Media. So it's not smooth, and so my pencils, my Prismacolors are not going on smooth. Like back then I used to just use plain sheets of paper, and or tablets with smooth paper. It wasn't specialty watercolor or whatever, you know, multi-medium paper. It was just smooth paper, and that made a big difference, especially when you're coloring large areas like this. But it'll just give it texture, make it look like the paint is not quite as new or whatever, or something. I don't know. Anyway, okay, I'm one-handed now because Soma just put her head on my other hand. But anyway, there you go. One thing I did always do was do a lot of bright, cheerful color. And I'm glad I didn't put away colors I've used so far, because I just saw there that I had missed out on some bits. Oh, done with that for now. Red, orange, yellow. Okay, I wish that I had done like my plan was, to just use these brighter colors again here for these last three, because they're brighter and more cheerful. But oh well. Especially these two, I wish I had done with red and orange. This is raspberry and mineral orange, so I mean it is red and orange, but anyway, I just wish that I had done the brighter colors.